Aloha, my name is Ali Joseph, and I am NewStories Communications Director and Illuminator. And I am here today with Z Johnson, our co director, to discuss and invite you to our Personal Principles Workshop series.
Hi,
Let-
Allie. Thanks for inviting me here today.
Z, what inspired you to co lead the Restore Your Life with Personal Principles Workshop?
I have been working with personal principles for a few years now. The process we use at New Stories is called principles guided co-creation. And we usually activate that process with organizations or groups or foundations that are undergoing the restoring process. And I wanted to see what restoring at a personal level might feel like. So for a few years, I've been working with principles on my own. And it felt at the end of last year, it was a good time to start to introduce working with personal principles as something that folks might benefit from. And so we had a introductory workshop and there seemed to be a lot of interest and excitement about that. And so we thought we'd go ahead and offer a three workshop series that gives people more time to apply and really not just do one, but to think about the whole spectrum of principles that are guiding their lives and their work and their leadership.
Thanks, Z. And why do you feel that connecting with personal principles is so critical, especially during times of uncertainty and change?
One of the most important things that I have seen principles do, and this is in the context of Indigenous communities that are operating on the basis of shared cultural values, is that they bring coherence so that we're not just making this move here and that move there, but that they're reminding us of our intention in a multi-layered, like complex way that helps us deal with the complexities of life, but is also bringing a kind of simplicity to the many different layers and facets of decisions that we're having to make in today's world. That's what I love about working with principles is that they allow myself and those around me to begin to sense into where is the coherence here? Where's the it's not always consistency, it's not sameness, but there is, as conditions change, kind of rhythm that begins to emerge, and it's connected to our authenticity because it's the part of the pattern that keeps showing up.
Thank you, Z. And who do you feel this workshop is designed for, or and who do you hope will join us?
This workshop is designed for people who have a sense of desire for their own next steps, people who are motivated by their own self actualization or motivated by a larger vision for what's possible in their personal life or in their sphere of community and work, people who are maybe just not completely satisfied with how things are, but that carry a vision of something more. And I think that having a healthy practice of self compassion while operating with our principles is really important. That we're not using our principles to drive us or compel us in some way, but as an honoring of this is who I am. This is how I keep showing up. And I've made a commitment to learn to work with who I am and how I am in ways that are supportive of that essence self that I am and to communicate to that with others so that other people can move with me rather than just participating in some kind of cultural script or moving out of a sense of obligation. So I feel like this workshop is really for people who are wanting to deepen their sense of self awareness and their sense of coherence and their confidence in their own personal expression.
Thanks, Z. And you touched upon this before, but the workshop draws upon New Stories Principles Guided Co creation process. Can you help us understand what you mean by co creation?
Yes, principles are uh, guidelines that we refer to when we're having difficulty making decisions, some fixed points that help us to navigate. And co creation is really the part of the process where we take a good look at what we're actually working with. What is it that life has presented us with that we're weaving with? It's our situation, it's our context, it's the relationships that we have with other people. It's the matter that we're weaving with as we participate in co creation. In many ways, co creation comes from our deep desires, and it also is an expression of what life wants through us. And so we find ourselves in our situation, in our embodied experience, wanting to create and recognizing that co creation is what's really going on here. I can't do anything entirely by myself. I'm situated in a matrix of community, in a matrix of ecology, in a context of past, present, and future. And co creation means that I'm not just thinking from my own personal embodied perspective, but I'm situating that which I'm moving with in a much larger field.
Mm. Thank you, Z. That was helpful. And what can participants expect to take away from the workshop?
I think fundamentally the thing a set of principles that you've tried and tested. That's pretty exciting. But I think the thing that's most exciting to me is some real life experiences with applying the principles and working with that cycle of feedback and reflection in action and
Mm.
having a cohort of peers that are also engaged in that same process so that participants can hear what others' experiences are and recognize the challenges that they're having aren't just their challenges and to see how others are finding their way through the uncertainty of working with an unfamiliar process until it really does become theirs. So that sense of, oh, these are some ways I could start to align myself more deeply and then begin to look out at, oh, here's how I could use that alignment to further the relationships that I'm in, to further some of the community projects that I've wanted to accomplish, to further some of the ways that I show up as a leader. All of that practical applied use of principles is one of the things that I missed when I was trying to do personal principles development on my own. And so I think it's a real gift to be able to encounter this process in the context of a community that's also trying to engage with this kind of reflection over time. We really learn a lot from one another in this human experience. And the workshop presents us with that opportunity.
Thank you, Z. I think that touched upon my next question of what would you say to someone if they're unsure this workshop is for them?
I think that this workshop is really well fit for people who are interested in their own growth and committed to their own growth. That if you're the kind of person who's, yeah, I just want to Netflix and chill, it might not be the best fit. But and don't get me wrong, there's a time for that. But if you're excited about engaging in a process of reflection and growth and seeing things improve, seeing yourself improve, seeing your own understanding of what you really care about evolve and grow, it might be a really good fit for you. If you're worried about doing it alone, you could bring a friend and participate in the workshop together, and they could be your partner that you debrief with afterward. It doesn't have to be a solitary process just because it's an important one. If you are someone who's excited about this kind of ongoing growth and development and deeper alignment, deeper coherence for yourself, we'll be here for you. We'll be going through this process with you, and you're totally welcome to bring a friend to ride the waves with you.
Thank you, Z. And thank you, everyone, for listening. And we're excited for you to join us. Please reach out if you have any questions, and we hope to see you all soon. Aloha.
You know, aloha. Bye.